from what I've seen, you're pretty passionate about animal rights, the rights of non-human animals. Um, what made you first interested in that?
So since I'm from Norway, we have something called fenalår, which is basically the leg of a lamb that is smoked, and we normally eat that for Christmas. And this is where it all started with me. Like I normally ate a lot of this every year for Christmas, and I was sitting there cutting off this lamb leg, and I was eating this meat, and all of a sudden I got to the joint, and it started like I could move the leg, and something hit me. And like I always called myself an animal lover. I love cats and dogs, and but something hit me there, and I, like I don't know exactly what it was, but at that moment I told myself maybe this is the last time I'm eating this. And a month later, I don't know, like I watched some videos, don't know the whole process exactly, but it kind
Mm.
of that hit me very much. And after that, I decided to try to be vegetarian. And after a week or two as a vegetarian, I realized it doesn't make any sense. I need to be vegan, and I
Mm.
went vegan, and I lived as a vegan for a while, and then did research and realized that hey, I need to become active and speak up against what's happening to animals.
Yeah. Exactly. How active were you in this? Because know you spoke quite a lot about it, like publicly.
Mm.
Uh,
So through to I've been traveling to 25 different European countries to organize events, hold workshops, and talk about animal rights. I've been arrested 3 times. I've been
wow.
a part of entering several farms. I've been doing investigation footage. I've been rescuing animals from the farm itself, inside slaughterhouses, filming. Basically, I've done everything there is, pretty much. Yeah, I've been outside 100 slaughterhouses all around Europe. Been training people in nonviolent direct
Mm.
action. I was a part of, um, yeah, I've been a part of a lot of the animal rights groups and traveling, holding trainings and workshops. So yeah, it was, I guess, my identity for several years, and
Okay.
I've been really passionate about it. Still am, but I'm trying to. I burned out very heavily from it because when you're seeing these animals being killed and trying to do something, but it
Mm.
goes really slow, I hit a really
Hmm.
heavy burnout. So now I'm not really that involved with it, but long
But you
term, I
still
will always
care.
fight for the animals. Yeah, I will always care and always fight for
Mm.
animals somehow.
Yeah. Um, a lot of people consider those types of activists and protesters as annoyance. Have you ever experienced that? That's
Oh yeah,
people
a
perceived you
lot.
that way, or
Oh yeah, normally that would be the case, and today I see that many of the things that I did is something I also would perceive that way today. And I think as activists, and I think especially as in our 20s or teenage years, we have more blindfolds on for that. We have more this
mm,
attitude of I have something to say and I'm gonna say it no matter what, and you are gonna listen, and I'm gonna find ways to get people to listen. While today I would use very different approaches, and most of the things that I would do different today. But that doesn't mean that I'm not very grateful for the experience that I have, and I feel like
mm,
I am a much stronger activist, also stepping more into the transgenderism and what's happening there. I have much more knowledge when it comes to activism that I hope to bring into this eventually somehow also.
I think that's useful. I think it
Mm.
has a certain role it can play there. Um,
Mm.
do you think activism is like the best way to achieve certain goals, or do you think there are, because you're talking about how you would do certain things different now that you're older? Do you think there are like better, more effective ways to make change rather than this type of activism?
I guess it depends on what we define as activism, because I guess everything, if as long as you are passionate about something and want to change something and take some active
Mm,
steps towards that, I guess that is basically activism. So but I do think there's probably always better ways. No matter what we do,
mm.
we can probably find a
Oh
way
yeah,
to do it
yeah.
better. So but I would say the typical street activism is definitely far from as effective as I thought it was 6, 7 years ago. Yeah, I can see that the activism we often relate to is often pushing people more away, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't help in any way, but that people get more reluctant and um, get more stubborn. So I think a lot of the activism that people engage in today doesn't have the effect that we like to think that it has.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I can think of like some. I'm not saying all, but like some climate activists who, for me, definitely fall into that area where you're actually putting people off that by acting that way, such as throwing tomato soups at paintings, destroying art, things like that. um like I'm not sure, it actually achieves anything, to
No, yeah,
be
with those
honest.
things, I think in the same way, and
Yeah,
I feel like it's maybe more cringe than effective in any way.
yeah, absolutely. And
Mm,
and I'm not necessarily even like a um climate change denier and even or anything like that, but I think, there are more responsible ways to approach those issues than through this type of activism, because I don't think all activism is bad. I think
mm,
there's a lot of good activism going on, and there's sort of label that comes with activism. Why some people even prefer to call themselves advocates rather than activists because of this
mm.
negative correlation there. Like
Yeah, and
I
I also agree with that. I would today I see myself more as an advocate than an activist.
yeah. Do you, as someone so concerned with animal rights, do you view non-human animals as equal to humans, or?
I don't really view anyone as equal because we are all the same but different, right? So
Mm,
even though me and you kind of deserve the equal treatment in certain ways, we also have different lives. So we have different things that
yeah.
we we will experience. So I don't say that I don't like to say that we are equal to animals, but I do believe that we all deserve to equally have the chances of living a peaceful life without being harmed or caused harm, or yeah, just
Mm,
being able to live our life instead of someone else dictating what how I should live, and being allowed to freely expose me to torture and pain in the same way as I don't think animals should experience torture and pain or live
mm,
for someone else's experience. Like I don't believe an animal is here for the purpose of satisfying my taste buds.
mm. I wow, I really love your answer there.
Thanks.
I must say, yeah, no, I really
Mm,
love everything you said there, and some of those animals that we treat sort of like a possession, just to eat them, are like pigs, for example,
mm,
and pigs are actually pretty intelligent animals.
they
I've
really
heard
are.
that a pig is actually more intelligent than a dog,
Way
and
more intelligent than a dog,
yeah,
actually.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm thinking like, well, okay, if you wouldn't eat a dog for that reason, then why would you eat a pig?
Mm. And I think that is
Uh,
a question we should all ask ourselves, because we are very
mm,
against, most people are very against it in certain countries. They do eat dogs. And I often have people talking to me about that. And for me, that doesn't make any difference. Like, okay, in China, they might eat dogs, or in South Korea, but
mm,
that's no difference when you love all animals, when you love a pig, and when you have a friendship with a pig and have experienced how pigs really are. Why is it different what we do in Norway or what they do in here in Costa Rica with pigs?
mm. Yeah, no, I mean, I know what you mean, and I'm not a vegan myself, but
Hmm.
I I ended up cutting pork of my diet for that reason, because of pig's intelligence, right? And
Mm.
whether I will move further from there or not, I don't know. It's really hard to tell at this point, but I think it's my own journey, and let's see where life takes me.
But I was
But
watching the
yeah, no, please continue.
just one thing is that because you realize that the pigs were very intelligent, but then are we gonna separate from the intelligence they have? Like, should we treat a human worse because they're not so intelligent as another one? So should a chicken be treated bad because they're not as intelligent as a pig, but then they are more
Mm.
less in, like, where do we draw that line? Kind of, I think that is what a
Mm.
lot of vegans also sit with, that there is not really a line for me personally to draw. Like, I am not the
Mm.
one who should have the power to decide when someone is smart, too smart to be killed for food, or when
Yeah.
they're not smart enough, like in that way.
Mm. I mean, I think you're raising a really important ethical question there, actually.
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't kill a human being because their IQ is, let's say, below 70, right? So why should I eat a non-human animal?
Yeah.
That is a good question, right?